Welcome to AI Unraveled, your daily briefing on the real-world business impact of AI. Today, we cover a fierce new chip war, a massive public safety debate, and Wall Street's reaction to OpenAI's market moves. In the headlines, OpenAI's first step toward an IPO is rocking the financial sector. We'll look at what this valuation means for the rest of the market and the implications of the internal culture clash it's sparking. The AI chip war is heating up. Qualcomm just announced new AI chips designed to challenge the dominance of both AMD and Nvidia, intensifying the competition over edge and cloud inference. Meanwhile, the superintelligence divide reached a critical mass as thousands of safety experts demand guardrails, while the defense sector and major players like Mondelez go all in on deployment. We also dive into how workers are already exploiting models to create fake expense receipts, a new compliance and audit risk. Plus, we break down the AI angles on the MLB Fall Classic, the Jamaica hurricane response, and the market moves following the Qualcomm chip news. But first, a quick message for the enterprise builders. Stop marketing to the general public. Talk to enterprise AI builders. Your platform solves the hardest challenge in tech: getting secure, compliant AI into production at scale. You need to reach the right 1%, the CTOs, VPs of engineering, and MLOps heads who need production-ready solutions like yours. We have reserved a limited number of mid-roll ad spots for high-stakes, governed AI infrastructure companies. Secure your mid-roll spot here. Link in show notes. Now let's unravel today's AI news.
Welcome to the deep dive. If you feel like we are standing at just this dramatic collision point right now, where you've got this sort of future-looking dread about superintelligence hitting the immediate chaos of business and just daily life, you're not wrong.
Absolutely not. It's like one eye is on that long-term, should we pause AI development debate?
Right.
And the other eye is watching companies right now using AI for, everything from fraud and surveillance to slashing marketing budgets.
It really feels like the highest leverage moment we've seen. So today we dove into an internal daily briefing dated October 27, 2025, and it just captures this global tension brilliantly.
It really does.
Our mission here is to filter through this flood of information, really, and give you exactly what you need to know across 4 key areas.
Okay.
We're talking corporate strategy and identity crises at the big AI players, the super intense chip race.
Always the chips.
Always the chips. Then the immediate risks, like fraud and major legal stuff happening. And finally, how AI is actually being used in real-time news, from like hurricanes to market swings.
Yeah, we've got the full picture, and we should probably start where the stakes feel, arguably highest right now. OpenAI. It really looks like they're going through a huge strategic and cultural shift.
Okay, let's unpack that. The Meta-fication of OpenAI, the sources are calling it. And we're not talking just a few hires. It's over 600 out of 3,000 staff now are ex-Meta. That's significant.
It's huge. It's practically an institutional swap, and you can feel the tension internally, apparently. The whole narrative inside the company is shifting because you've got this influx of, a growth-obsessed veterans.
Right.
We know there's a dedicated Slack channel just for the ex-Meta folks, and internal surveys asking staff, is OpenAI becoming too much like Meta?
Wow.
The key thing here, the real insight, is that the original mission, the whole existential safety focus, it seems like it's now taking a backseat to just immediate commercial growth.
And that commercial pressure, that push, is reportedly why the former CTO, Mir Murati, left-right, disagreements over user growth.
That's the report, yeah. And this is where it gets really interesting, or maybe worrying, depending on your view. Teams are now actually looking into using ChatGPT's memory.
For personalized ads.
For personalized ads, exactly. Which, if you remember, CEO Sam Altman himself once described concepts like that as
dystopian. I remember that quote.
They literally called it dystopian. And now that same dystopian idea is apparently a core monetization path they're exploring. It just shows the immense pressure they're under to scale revenue. Like yesterday.
That pressure feeds right into this. This massive financial gamble they're taking. The IPO process is starting, contingent on SoftBank's $22.5 billion.
That's the number. But the strategy, it's just pure swagger, as the source puts it.
It's like bypassing all the normal rules.
Totally. You've got Sam Altman apparently striking deals worth $1.5 trillion for chips, directly with Nvidia, AMD, Oracle.
1.5 trillion.
Trillion. It's not just talk about scale. He's driving this by sheer force of will, making these enormous financial commitments that kind of sidestep the usual financial, legal, even governmental checks you'd expect.
It's like they're building their own private nation-state infrastructure before anyone can even figure out how to regulate them.
That's a good way to put it.
And speaking of new things, they're also trying AI music again. Third time's the charm.
Looks like it. Going up against startups like Suno and Udio that are already out there.
How are they getting the data for that? Music's tricky.
Fascinating approach, actually. They're working with students from Juilliard, the prestigious music school.
Wow, okay.
Getting them to annotate musical scores. So super high quality, labeled data across different instruments, styles. Really detailed stuff.
But not just for making beautiful music, I assume.
Well, maybe, but the immediate use case mentioned is enterprise. Think ad agencies using these models for campaign jingles, background music for videos, that sort of thing.
Right. So the whole OpenAI story really underscores how profit and scale are just dominating the industry now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which takes us nicely to the other players fighting for that market share and, crucially, the chips to power it all. Let's talk corporate adoption and the chip wars.
Okay, so the market share data is honestly a bit of a surprise. There's this report, the Artificial Analysis State of Generative Media Survey, polling developers, creators. It shows Google is actually dominating in visual AI.
Wait, Google, not OpenAI or Midjourney.
Google's Gemini apparently grabbed 74% of the AI image use among those surveyed, and their video model, Veo, took 69% of video creators. Beats the rivals pretty handily in those areas.
So why does OpenAI still seem to own the narrative, the hype? Is the visual AI buzz just misplaced?
Well, it suggests the tools people are actually using day-to-day for creative work might be leaning heavily Google, which, has huge implications for training data, future products, all that. But the other key finding here counters all the AI winter talk. The ROI. People were worried about the cost.
But are companies actually making money back?
Yeah, the numbers are strong. 65% of organizations hit their ROI within 12 months. And 34%, about a third, are already seeing actual profits.
Okay, that's huge. That changes the whole conversation for, CFOs, right? AI isn't just some future cost center. It's already a proven revenue generator for many.
Exactly. And you see the difference in what people want. Personal creators, they prioritize model quality above all else, 76%. Makes sense.
But businesses?
Enterprises prioritize cost reduction. 57% said that was key.
That 57% cost focus explains so much about the chip race. Nvidia. They're not just selling the shovels anymore.
No, they're getting into the gold mining themselves, kind of. They're investing $3 billion to build their own internal robotaxi fleet for their U.S. operations.
Not for a partner, but for themselves. Why?
The goal seems to be closing the performance gap they found internally with Tesla's full self-driving. Apparently, their own tests showed NVIDIA's system needed more human intervention. So this is like a massive internal R&D project to sharpen their own tech.
Wow. Okay, and who else is jumping in?
Qualcomm. They're making a play for the data center, challenging NVIDIA and AMD. They just released these AI accelerator chips, the AI 200 and AI 250.
Based on their phone tech.
Yeah, based on the Hexagon NPUs from their smartphone chips, just scaled way up for data center workloads.
And they're targeting inference, right? The actual running of models, not the super expensive training part.
Exactly. And their big claim, their advantage, memory. They're saying these chips support 768 gigabytes of memory.
Which is more than NVIDIA currently offers.
That's the claim. And if you link that back to the enterprise focus on cost reduction.
More memory means you can run bigger models, more complex tasks, maybe more cheaply overall.
Precisely. Lower operating cost per task. That's the pitch.
And this drive to automate, cut costs.
Yeah.
Like Mondelez, the Oreo and Ritz people, they're using an internal AI tool to cut marketing and production costs by 30–50%.
Yeah, developed with Publicis and Accenture. They're even planning AI-generated TV ads by late 2026. And they're not alone. WPP, Adobe, Meta, Amazon, they all have similar efforts.
But when you automate the cost cutting like that, you inevitably automate the risk too, don't you?
Absolutely. Which brings us straight to the immediate fallout. The legal stuff, the security nightmares.
The fraud pipeline. That sounds bad.
It's flowing incredibly fast. Appsen, an expense software company, reported that AI-generated expense receipts, fake ones, made up 14% of all the fraudulent documents submitted in September 2025.
14%. What was it before?
A year ago, 0%.
0 to 14% in a year. That's staggering.
It's an almost vertical curve. And the scary part, The sources say these fakes are so good, human reviewers just can't tell the difference anymore.
So if you're an auditor, your job just completely changed.
Overnight. They're having to shift rapidly to scanning the metadata, the underlying file information, because visual inspection doesn't work.
And besides the fraud risk, there's legal risk heating up too. Australia's going after Microsoft.
Yeah, the consumer watchdog there is suing them. They allege Microsoft misled about 2.7 million subscribers when they rolled out Copilot AI in Microsoft 365.
What's the core accusation?
Basically, that Microsoft used the Copilot integration to push through a big price hike up to 45%, and they allegedly hid the cheaper Classic plan option from existing customers who just wanted to keep their old service without the AI and the big price jump.
And that could set a precedent globally.
Could be huge, yeah. A major test case against potentially aggressive AI upselling tactics.
So while courts are dealing with consumer rights, governments are expanding surveillance using AI.
Quietly, but yes. The source details IC U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement spending $5.7 million on a 5-year contract for Signal Labs licenses.
Signal Labs, they do social media monitoring.
Massive scale. The platform analyzes over 8 billion social media posts a day. It's also used by the Pentagon, the Israeli military.
And IC's use.
The contract was for their intelligence unit, for real-time data analysis for criminal investigations. So yeah, automated, mass-scale surveillance of online posts, everything you put out there, which understandably is fueling this whole regulation debate, the statement on Superintelligence petition.
Right, demanding a halt to developing AI that's smarter than humans across the board until there's some scientific agreement on safety.
And the signatories are... well, it's an incredibly broad coalition.
It really is. You've got top AI researchers like Hinton and Bengio, tech icons like Wozniak.
But also people like Sir Richard Branson, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, even Steve Bannon.
Yeah, it's truly bipartisan, cross-ideological. It shows that the fear of losing control really cuts across traditional political lines. Public support seems high too, like 73% of U.S. adults want strong AI rules.
It's just crucial to remember, though, that this high-level debate about future risks is happening while AI is already deployed in, life or death situations right now.
Which takes us to our last segment. AI in action, moving at the speed of breaking news.
Exactly. Like in crisis response, look at the recent hurricane in Jamaica or Hurricane Melissa. AI is being used for what they call neural nowcasting.
Which is like super short-term AI predictions.
Yeah, basically using AI to give faster, more immediate guidance on rain and storm surges to first responders, helping them get ahead of it.
And they're using videos people take.
Incredibly, yeah. AI vision tools are analyzing shaky cell phone videos people upload, turning them into rough depth estimates of flooding.
So turning social media chaos into actual intel for triage teams.
When time is absolutely critical, yeah. It's potentially life-saving, turning that footage into something actionable.
And this utility goes beyond disasters, right? Into finance, geopolitics.
Definitely. Think about Argentina. President Milei makes a sudden policy move. FX trading desks are using AI to instantly pair news sentiment analysis with capital flow data.
To predict the peso's risk, trying to cut through the rumors.
Exactly. To get a faster read, reduce that volatility driven by uncertainty. LLMs are even summarizing his decrees in plain language, Spanish and English, almost instantly.
And the same speed applies to stocks, like with Qualcomm.
Oh yeah. Qualcomm stock moves on some AI chip news. Trading desks are using LLMs to parse earnings reports instantly, combining that with AI models analyzing options trading flows.
Options flow meaning where the big bets are being placed.
Pretty much. The AI is predicting market direction based on the weight of those specific option trades, reacting way faster than any human analyst could.
Even sports aren't immune. The MLB Fall Classic, El Clasico.
AI is all over it. Computer vision tags every single pitch, every hit, in real time. But then LLMs generate personalized, why it mattered captions for each fan.
Wait. Personalized captions?
Yeah, so that big baseball game or soccer match, it's not just one broadcast. It's becoming a tailored content feed. You get micro highlights and explanations tuned specifically for you, your team, your language.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this all up. We've got OpenAI making this almost unbelievable $1.5 trillion bet aiming for superintelligence.
While at the very same time,
we have AI being used immediately for things like creating fake receipts at an alarming rate, that 14% jump, but also for something undeniably good, like helping triage hurricane victims using phone video.
It forces you right back to that core tension, doesn't it? The risk versus the reward, the immediate utility versus the potential danger.
Yeah, and that superintelligence guardrail movement, it's driven by that deep concern, summed up by that quote you found in the source material.
Right. The rule in the world has been that the smarter species control the stupid ones, and we'd be making ourselves the stupider ones in that scenario. Puts it bluntly.
It really does. So thinking about the amazing things AI can do today, like that disaster response, does that immediate undeniable good justify moving so fast, maybe faster than regulation can keep up? Or is the speed itself the real danger here?
Where does that real-world usefulness, like hurricane forecasting, meet the inherent risks, like mass surveillance?
It's the question you have to keep asking yourself as you watch all this unfold.
Definitely something to mull over. And that's our deep dive for today.
That's it for today's deep dive. We hope you walked away with actionable insights for your enterprise strategy. Before you go, let me remind you of the unparalleled value of this platform. AI Unraveled delivers deep, uncompromised technical insight that keeps our audience, senior enterprise leaders, tuned in to the very last minute. That sustained attention is the best place for your ad. This is your opportunity for a direct line to your most valuable buyers, the CTOs, VPs of engineering, and MLOps heads who sign off on high-stakes infrastructure. Stop wasting budget on general marketing noise. Secure your high-impact premium ad campaign right here. Email us today to reserve your mid-roll package, info@djamgatech.com. Thank you for listening to AI Unraveled. We'll be back tomorrow with more.